Yeah. That attorney-client privilege? Yes. hmm The client's right to refuse to disclose and to prevent any other person from disclosing confidential communications? Yeah. Between the client and the attorney? Yes. Now, I just want to mention that I was arraigned on the 5th, yes, of July, yeah. And they would have assigned counsel to me? Yes. And that counsel would have gotten a copy of any of the documentation of the arrest that took place on Guam. Now, when issuing this protection order in the confidential report and sealed envelope, yes. While being on trial on Guam and agreeing to the diversion, I think I had some attorney-client privilege violated, yes, when it was admitted to the court in Clallam County for the issuance of the protection order. Yeah. Now, see, when they're trying you in one state, yes, yes, and all the communications between me and Ali Nussbaum and Richard Dirks, yes, and the Guamanian Public Defender's Office, right, should have been in Guam and should not have been in this court. Oh, now I'm just going to need to know everything the prosecuting attorney said from Guam. See, let's say you're on trial. There's an accusation of a crime in one jurisdiction of this great nation. And you're going through this and the trial and the public court record and all that's involved in that. Yes. And then there's my communication with my attorney during that trial. Yes. And then she uses what's communicated in that trial. Yes. In this county. Yes. As a reason for you to issue the protection order. Now, I never gave my consent for anything that was documented on Guam. Yes. To be admitted into this court. Now, let's say I subpoenaed you for all the information in the confidential report in the sealed envelopes, yes, and the declaration of anything that was communicated in that court, yes, that had the jurisdiction of my prosecution. And if anything was communicated in this court, yes, that did not have the jurisdiction of the prosecution, I don't think they have the right to issue the protection order. Now, it looks like in your want to protect the women and children that this attorney-client privilege could have been violated, yes, if anything that was communicated right now in that jurisdiction, yes, was admitted to this court as evidence for the issuance of the protection. Looks cool. Yeah. Now, I don't think the arrest was admissible in this court, yes, because the arresting officers there, yes, though you could have had a teleconference, right. The problem is I'm on trial when you issued a protection order and all the communications of the attorney-client privilege, yes, are in the jurisdiction of that attorney, yes, while I'm on trial. Now, I didn't get done with the diversion. Yes. The educational requirements. Oh, oh. Until approximately October, November of 2011. Yes. And everything that was admitted to the court as the conditions of the diversion. Yes. That should have stayed between me and my public defender. Yes. And should not have been released to this court. Even though she says she's the victim. Right. She was not on Guam. She didn't take the stand. No. She didn't appear in court. No. And it was the Attorney General of Guam that represented her. Now, we talked about the state and the county prosecuting the perpetrator of the victimization of domestic violence. Right. We did talk about that. Is there anything that was admitted to the courtroom that violated the attorney-client privilege? Because I should have been included, yes, in any of the documentation of the protection order. But as I remember it, no one gave me any documentation that should have been admitted to the public defender's office as to how I could, yes, protect my rights as a parent. Did you decide to issue this protection order? Yes. Without my attorney having all the documentation admitted to the court while I was on trial, while on probation, yes, while going through.